been a long time since we did one of these.
What is it?
It's what game are you gaming?
I don't know what I don't even remember what that is. I mean,
It's a video game podcast.
I feel like I've heard of it
It's where your favorite
in
Dan
a past
Dans,
life.
name of you and I, sit down, we tell the Dans what we've been playing, we talk about video games and whatnot.
Do you think we're everybody's favorite Dan Dans for real?
No.
I mean, besides us, like the rest of them.
Like all the other Dan Dans?
Yeah.
No, I think there's Dan Dans out there that like you more than me. I think there's Dan Dans out there that like Robinson more than Nigel. I think there's Dan Dans out there who like...
Yeah, but do you think we rank above? Across the board, like on average, per capita?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Because...
I'd say so. I think so. I doubted it, but then I was like, no. Yeah, we're the best.
I'll go with that. Yeah, Dan, this is What Game Are You Gaming? This is episode 14. And we for a long time we were doing an episode a month, but some shit came up. We've been the busiest Dan-Dans you've ever heard of. We haven't missed a single episode of the 616 Entertainment Podcast, which you can listen to on SoundCloud and iTunes. But you know, this one a month commitment, sometimes it gets swept under the rug.
Well, I mean, maybe if you listen to it more, we would be more inclined to do it more often. Be more consistent with it. So.
What have you been gaming?
Horizon.
Yeah, me too. So we can talk a little bit about Horizon.
That's pretty much it.
We will remain spoiler free, and this episode's going to have an overarching topic.
I don't even know spoilers.
How far are you?
Like 10 hours.
Yeah. I just crossed into 21-hour territory, but I haven't played Horizon in like over a week.
Mm-hmm.
I've had no fucking time.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I also mean like I've been reading a lot. Like I'd rather read because I started reading it. But it's not that I have no time in general. I have other stuff I want to do.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's like kind of my thing too.
Give me your impressions of Horizon Zero Dawn.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a great game. I don't know, I've had a little bit of a hard time like getting into it and feeling it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's partially has to do with like the small increments I've played it. Like I really still haven't gotten a chance to sit down and play it for like a bunch of hours in a row. It's like an hour or two here or there. And so like I kind of feel like I haven't been able to master it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, I get kind of frustrated cuz it's hard.
It's pretty difficult.
It's a hard game.
I wanted to agree with you at first there, but I don't know if I think it's hard. Like I'm doing really well. Are you taking your time, or are you having the Arkham problem?
No,
if you run headlong, you're gonna get fucked up.
Well, that's part of it. Like I try to take my time and plan, but sometimes you're just like going along, and then you find yourself in the middle of a fucking like
a path.
Like 3 sawtooths or these giant, and it's like, okay, I'm fucked. Like I can't, because they're always on your ass. Like you can never get distance enough to like like line up a shot or anything. But I just gotta. I think I just gotta give it more time because I'm having fun with it. I enjoy it. It's not like I dislike it, but the last couple times I sat down with it, I was getting just kind of like annoyed.
I had the Arkham thing going through my head to where I took quite a break before playing Arkham City, like after Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think I played Arkham City when it first came out. I gave it some time. And then when I picked it back up, I was like getting the shit beat out of me. Yeah. And I realized because I wasn't taking my time. If you don't take your time in those games, you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah, I think it's me to a degree. Like I gotta master it more. I gotta figure it out more.
In Horizon, I've like taken my time to the point where I'm almost 22 hours in. I've died twice. Like I'm not dying a lot in this game.
I've died a lot.
Are you getting potions and are you going around and collecting like medical salve bushes and whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like that's the thing is like also if I do like fight like one of these big ones, I feel like I'm just downing potions.
How many of your weapons are you using? Are you setting tripwires? Are you...
Yeah, but like I can't... That's the other thing is I haven't been able to figure out the best way to use them. It's like I set one up before I see them, but then once they see me, like I don't have enough time to like and they're like, I'm in combat, like I'm getting attacked, like I don't have enough time to like set a tripwire, and
no, you gotta set them way beforehand.
But that's what I'm saying, like, but what I do that, and it's like, okay, I do that, and it knocks out one, and I can like kill it with a critical strike on the ground.
See, I only use tripwires if I have to fight one big enemy. Like, have you found a bellowback yet?
Mm-mm.
They're like maybe 15 feet tall. They're really big, and they have giant tanks on their back full of chemicals.
Oh, I just came into one, and I started to fight one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was doing no damage, and I'm like, I don't.
I use my precision bow, which is way stronger. Like,
see, I probably need to get better weapons.
Yeah, like definitely.
Because I came up one of those, and I was like doing nothing, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, always go to merchants and sell. Go through your inventory. There's stuff that sounds important, but then it tells you that the only thing it's for is selling.
Yeah, I figured that out.
So sell shit, upgrade your weapons, use like the upgrade slots to make them way better. And then when you fight like a bellowback, only focus on the tanks. And then if you can learn how to use like fire arrows and find out that its weakness is fire, when the thing comes up, like the fire circle, if you can fill it all the way white, he'll fucking explode.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to get his health all the way down. But for tripwires, what I like to do for those is I set no less than 4. Like if I'm doing one, I'm doing a shitload of them.
That's probably a good idea.
And what I do is I set the 4, and then I stand in front of them. Or I stand behind them, technically. So then I take my blast sling out, which is what you use for like grenades. You can shoot. And I shoot way behind it. Because for some animals, some robots, whatever, some enemies, they'll turn around and they'll say, what the fuck was that thing behind me? But then other ones go, fuck that! If it's behind them, they'll run forward to get away from whatever exploded. And they're so scared that they'll run right into your tripwires.
Okay.
So I do that. I just fought my first, what do you call the T-Rexes?
I don't know.
I haven't. Thunderjaw, I think.
I don't think I've come into contact with them yet.
It was like a 15-minute fight.
Yeah.
Like, even with my best weapons, being as careful as possible, it took so long to take him down.
Yeah, I just gotta...
And I got past him, and then do you want my theory on where it takes place? I have no idea if I'm right, but just based on the landscapes I've seen,
sure.
I don't know if it's in America. Like, because I was in snowy mountains, and then I crossed, like, through one gate, and I thought I was in New Mexico or Texas, but then I kept going a little bit, and they might be fucking with the geography just for, like, the sake of the art style in the game, but then I was in, like, a jungly area, and I was like, this does not seem like America to me.
Well, I mean, I don't know anywhere that there's...
Exactly.
Snowy mountains and jungle that close but you can just like walk there.
It's also really far in the future, so who knows what kind of climate we've got. But
I mean, America is pretty geographically diverse, but you can't walk from a snowy mountain to a jungle in less than a couple hours.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I was like, are we in Nevada? No, wait, this kind of looks like New Mexico. But then when I saw like the jungly shit, and there's some like Mayan looking structures, I was like, this doesn't seem like America, come to think of it.
Yeah.
So I don't really know where it is. I'm just now questioning whether it's even in the US.
Oh, I mean, I didn't even make that assumption. Not that
reason I assumed it was.
Not that I really didn't assume either way that it was.
The variety of the enemies, I think, is fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I fought...
For sure.
There's, like, the deer, which are called striders. There's a thing I fought that's basically like a saltwater crocodile that's called a snap maw.
Oh, shit.
They're in the water. They're fucking scary as shit. The T-Rex is the thunderjaw. I fought, like, with, like, a 26-foot wingspan. I fought a bird called a thunder something, and then there's other ones that are called glint hawks because when they glint when they shine in the sun, but they're predators and they swoop down. So the glint hawks are fucking scary. It's like the variety of it feels a lot like The Witcher to me.
The game is awesome.
Yeah.
And like I know it's just on me, and part of it is like I don't know if I also kind of feel like recently, like even maybe like the past year, it's been hard for me to like I'm in like a gaming drought where I sit down and I'm just like it's hard for me to like get into things like The Witcher took me a few hours. At first I was like like just like not feeling it, and like it was so much work to like get it. But then like once I got into it, like I fucking started to love it. And then I was away on vacation for Christmas, like a week or two, and I came back and I'm like, it was like hard to get back into it. So like I went to like do something else. I think I like played stories or something. But like recently, those like big like commitment games are hard for me to like. So
I get
which
that
sucks.
way.
Like I wish I could. I like because I know Horizon is an amazing game, and I wish I could really.
At the same time, though, no
it.
one's making you, and like obviously you're not. But the advice of the Dan who's listening is don't force it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to fuck around and play, because I go through this where I want to play a game, but I don't want to play my deep RPG.
Yeah.
And I fucking play Pac-Man.
Yeah,
for like 45 minutes.
I was play. I started to play. I re-downloaded Trials Fusion.
Yeah. I did a Let's Play with it
a few months ago. Yeah, because I told you I was playing it. And like I realized like I spent like $15 or $20 on it, and I re-downloaded it because I'm like, oh, that's like what I want to like. I want to play something like that. And there's like 10 like world like level
sets of levels.
Sets, whatever, worlds, whatever you want to call them. I played through like 2. Like I played that game. I didn't play that game at all, and so now I'm like halfway through it or more than halfway through, but I'm probably done with it for now.
You know what's funny is season 2 of Let's Play Friday is happening right now. Trials is the most watched episode.
Really?
And it's stacked up against WWF SmackDown 2, which you think would do really well because we have a big wrestling audience. But the other two it's competing with were Horizon and Resident Evil 7. Trials is the most watched episode. Horizon did the worst. I'm not kidding when I say like 10 people watched that.
I'm surprised Resident Evil didn't do better. But it's... I don't know.
Let's talk about Resident Evil a little bit. Maybe I've got more to talk about than I thought because we haven't done one of these in a while.
Yeah.
That game's not that good, dude.
Well, I didn't really... I didn't really expect it to be.
I know, but
when's the last time they... I mean, 6 was supposedly sucked. 5 was like...
6 did suck. I played it.
5 was eh. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't like a good Resident Evil game. The last like really good Resident Evil game was 4.
But I just mean, people have spoken a lot about Resident Evil 7. It's the return to horror. It's scary, but it's one of those games where I don't like these fucking games where I'm helpless. Where it's just like, he's coming for me, I better hide.
Well, that's a personal
I hate
choice.
That. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I hate that. But I did the Let's Play and I never touched it again.
I like it. Like, I liked Outlast, but it was perfect because it was like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't play that game for very long.
I didn't really like Outlast that much. I love the concept of it, and I love my first sitting with it, but a lot is lost the first time you die.
That's what
And you lose all of the consequences to it. But I've still never died in Outlast, but I've never gotten out of the fucking basement when you're trying to turn the water or the power on. Because there's a guy down there who I can't figure out how to get around him. And to Google how to get around him completely takes away the scariness of it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like, this is not my kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Resident Evil 7 did do much for me. But let's talk about topic of the show.
Okay.
Topic of the show.
Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
Well, that show doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and I don't like completely yanking someone else's formula.
I had an idea to gank the whole show. I know. Because Colin and Greg don't do it anymore. And I would
say what you're talking about.
When I say topic of the show, we go tots, 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 which is what TOTS, topic of the show.
Yeah, but nobody knows the show you're referring to.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
That's Podcast Beyond / PS I Love You. It was a Kind of Funny Games show. And Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller don't work together anymore. Colin left Kind of Funny. He's doing his own thing now. Patreon.com/ColinsLastSin. And so they don't do that show anymore. And I was thinking we could just steal the show. Like we could even use the same name. We could pick up on the episode number that they left off on. Like I think it's a really good idea. I don't care enough to vet the news the way they did.
That's a lot of work. That's a very produced show.
we don't have as much time as they do.
Mm-mm.
All these things, like they were able to talk about shit early because Sony sends them stuff. We don't have those sort of
Well, and I think you had the idea that like, oh, like it could attract a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think most of those people would be pissed.
I don't care.
Hate it.
I don't care.
None of them would listen to it.
Dude, some people hated a conversation with Corey because we ganked that. Like one of the comments.
That was more of an homage.
It was a gank. It was a straight gank. It even says in the description, I was like, this is a copy and paste job.
Yeah, but the fact that you said it is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's not like it's a completely original idea.
No. But I even still the intro. I take a topic of conversation, I throw it at him to entertain you, to entertain... Whatever. The topic of the show this week was going to be, and this comes from Jazz James. He booked this episode. He came up with this topic. What is the most time you've ever spent with a game?
Oh, shit.
And we don't have to do like the number one. We can talk about games that we've gotten balls deep into for a long time.
Yeah.
I will start. It took me, for the longest time, I thought it took me 108 hours to platinum Skyrim. When I turned my PS3 on to do some Let's Plays, I was looking through my old saves because that makes me nostalgic for some reason. It actually, I think I was at 164 hours. It took me way longer than I thought it did. That's a long fucking time to spend with a game. And I didn't dare load that save because my guy retired and he's at home with his wife.
Yeah, I don't have like Corey has like World of Warcraft.
Like 200 days.
Yeah, I don't have anything close to that. So there's not one that sticks out. But Skyrim was a lot for me. Fallout 3.
Yeah, because you platinumed that.
And on Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Still counts. You got all the achievements.
And I actually played through the story twice.
Yeah.
That was a big one. I didn't put that much time into it, but Marvel Heroes. If I stayed consistent, I was playing that game so much. Like for the period for the few weeks, I only played it for a few weeks, like maybe 2 months or something. For that time, I played it a lot. So if I would have stayed consistent with that, that would have been ridiculous.
So Marvel Heroes is the one you went with, but at Dan's, we've got some breaking news on the topic of Marvel Heroes. I'm going to let you take the floor because this is your flagship title.
A couple weeks ago, not a couple, well, it's more than
a couple
that
months
now.
ago.
But like a couple episodes ago, I brought it up and I said how it was strongly rumored that it was coming to consoles, and now it's official. It's coming to PS4. I think it is coming to Xbox eventually, but PS4 first.
Good, let everybody play it.
Yeah, I mean, why do all that work if you're gonna only get half the audience? They like money.
Well, and I'm super excited about that because one of my favorite games of all time is Diablo 3. And you have said over and over that Marvel Heroes is Diablo 3 with Marvel characters.
It is.
And I downloaded it on my fucking Mac, and there's no controller support, so I was totally boned. This is awesome news. Now, it goes into paid closed beta in spring, right?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm waiting until it's done. Who knows how long it's going to be in beta? It could be in beta till next year. We don't know.
Well, I think they even said that like your progress gets wiped at the end of the closed beta. So I don't know how long it's gonna be if that's the case.
Yeah.
But no, I'll probably do the same. Like I stopped playing, just not because I stopped liking it, but I just started playing other things, and when it comes to gaming, I'm very like focused. Like I can't play more than one thing at a time, unless it's like a deep game and then like a very like arcadey game, you know. So I stopped playing it, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then I like went back into the Reddit to see like what was new, what was going on, and then I saw like the rumors about like the console stuff. So I was like really like, ooh, I don't want to start playing it again.
Yeah, why
if it's
put all
gonna
that
start
time?
Because there's not going to be any type of account transfer, which pisses me off.
Why does that piss you off?
Well, it's just like it's weird because at the same time I am excited to start again, but there's little things that I'm mad that I'll lose.
Yeah.
And there's
how
things,
you spec'd out your Deadpool
and there's
stuff.
things they've changed in the update that kind of make it one of the things is I think what they did was initially when I started playing, when you got an account, you would get one free unlock. And so I unlocked Deadpool, and he was one of the more expensive characters. But now you can only you get a certain amount of in-game currency to buy a character.
Yeah.
And which is still good. That's basically one free character. Technically, because there's different price ranges. So I won't be able to afford Deadpool with the currency that they give me. It's I'll have to wait to buy him or whatever. But honestly, one of the biggest things the biggest thing, because I put 15 or $20 into the game.
Yeah.
Which I could get over.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
It's not that much money. I can get over that. But one of the biggest things is that fucking Dev gave me a free code for Spider-Man and never used him. And I'll never it was
why didn't you use him? He gave him to you so long ago.
Yeah, but I stopped playing because think about it, dude. It's like Diablo. So it's not like you're jumping back and forth between characters. To get the most out of it, you're putting in a decent amount of time with one character. So I played through with Deadpool. I got through the story with him. I leveled him up all the way, and then I put in a ton of time with him and endgame stuff. And then I started to level up Cyclops. I was halfway through when I got the Spider-Man, and then I stopped playing. So it's just that was such a cool moment for me.
Yeah.
To for this developer of a game I play to hear the podcast and then give me the thing, and I never got.
You squandered it.
I know.
A game that I spent a lot of time with, which is funny because it's the complete antithesis of your game, is DC Universe Online.
It's not. It's very
just
similar.
DC Marvel.
Yeah.
And it's an MMO, DC characters. You create your own hero. You can be a hero or a villain, and you get allied with either Lex Luthor or Superman, Batman, Circe, somebody like that. And I spent so much time with it because I double platinum that game. I first started playing it on PS3 before it was even free to play. I bought that shit when it came out. And then eventually it came to PS4. It was free to play. DC Universe Online, I fucking love that game. And to get the platinum, you have to get every character to top level under the different mentors. So Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Circe, Joker, Lex Luthor. I got 6 characters to level 30. Basically the same thing I did in Diablo. And I love that trophy list because I think they're all gold in that game. They're almost all gold, which I love. And there's not trophies for little bullshit we'll break 50 boxes in Joker's warehouse. It's no, just get top level under Joker. Get top level under Wonder Woman. And I loved creating all the different characters because I made one guy a speedster so he could run like the Flash. He could run so fast he could go up buildings. I made one guy fly. My one girl, she did whatever the other fucking one was. I don't remember, but
it was the Spider-Man one. You could across.
Naming the characters was super fun. I had this kid.
Yeah, you had you made backstories for them, just in your own head.
Because my imagination runs wild. I made a character. He was a little kid. He kind of looked like Mega Man. His colors were white and blue, and he was a hero. And his weapon was a staff, and he had ice powers. So named Kid Winter. Was cool. The funniest one was I made this really primal looking robot who wore all black and a tattered cape. Imagine Black Panther mixed with the Terminator, and he was a bad guy, and he had sharp claws and shit. And I named him because he was a robot. He needed a code name. I named him RX-616.
I don't think I ever knew about that.
That's a cool robot name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I spent a shitload of time with DC Universe Online. Getting that platinum, it was so attainable. It was just a time sink.
Yeah.
And when a platinum is a time sink and you really enjoy the game, that's a gift.
Yeah. One of the things about Marvel Heroes on console that I read is that it's not going to have at launch, it's not going to have all the same all the modes
Mm-hmm.
that are in the PC version, because there's so much shit to do.
Yeah.
PC version, and a lot of people don't like that, but honestly, I think it'll be like it's good for new players because you can learn it as like shit comes out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when I started playing, I was so overwhelmed.
I can imagine.
I was so overwhelmed. So, I mean, I might even have a better grasp of it going in. Playing again.
Honorable mentions for games that I've spent a lot of time with were probably WWF SmackDown 2 growing up. I mean, I played that game every day after school for hours at a time. Fight Night Round 4 in like my teen and early 20 years. When did that come out? 2009? So around the time I was like 20 through 23. I still put that shit on every once in a while. I've gone through like 7 entire career modes in that game. It's got the best career mode of any fighting sports game ever. Untouched, not even close. I fucked around and did a full career mode in UFC 2 this week. Like, it took me like 2.5 days. I played as a heavyweight named James Rogers. He looked like Captain America. And I retired. I wanted to play with him as a Greco-Roman wrestler. So his boxing was not good. His kicks were not good. He would take you down and rough you up, and he had like a guillotine choke. Those were his only tools, but he was really good at those. I retired at 25-11, which is not great, but it was fun to lose like that. At one point I was 17-8, and I was like, finally! Like, I'm fucking losing. This is great.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm like 21-1, and I'm like, okay, who else do you want me to kill? So limiting myself with only being a wrestler was really fun. And he was slow. And he did not have a very good chin. So that was fun. I won the heavyweight title, and I defended it 3 times. And then I moved down in weight because I was like, because he was 39. And I was like, let's get that light heavyweight title. 2 belts, and then we'll retire. I moved down to light heavyweight. They don't give me a title shot. I had to beat the number 1 guy. So I did. My next fight, title shot? Nope. They made me fight the number 2 guy, who was rated 100 overall. I was like, Jesus Christ. And the first round, he was fucking me up. I took him down. Guillotine, he popped out. Second round, he hit me with a head kick, left hook, which rocked me. And the animation happened where I was stumbling. Before I could even recover from the animation, he front kicked me and knocked me out cold. So I lost. And I was like, there was my title shot. Then I got submitted in my next 2 fights. So I moved down to light heavyweight, and it was win, loss, loss, loss. And at this point, I'm 41. And they gave me 1 more fight before I had to retire. And I won by guillotine in the first round. So it was a good way to go out. But I did not get that second belt. No. But the UFC games, those are honorable mentions. I've spent a lot of time with fighting sports games in general. Yeah. I play those over and over. I
put a lot of time into MLB The Show. Because sometimes I'm just in the mood for that.
Every game needs I want to do an episode at some point about things that every game needs. A game clock. I want to know how much time I've put in. And don't make it broken like The Witcher.
The Witcher was broken.
It records time when you're in standby. What are you talking about? Come on.
What about when you're paused?
No, don't count time.
No, does it in The Witcher?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
It's so broken that I can't even tell. Because Horizon doesn't even count when you're paused.
Yeah.
Like a second.
I think a lot of games don't. But
that's how it should be. I'm sure there's plenty of games that I'm forgetting about, like cumulative over the years. Mm-hmm. I've put a dickload of time into the Mortal Kombat franchise, but if we're talking specific games,
I'm trying to think of like Platinum or something.
Oh, for me, EA MMA, that might be the leader overall, because I've told the story on this podcast, and that's a fighting sports game. But Moonman, aka Bathroom Money, Tim Ewers, and I. We were like celebrities on the message board for that game. Like, Tim would sign on because it took so long to level up, and there was a trophy for leveling all the way up to red belt with 4 black stripes in the Masters division. It took so long. To the point to where to get a stripe on your red belt in the Master rank, it was like 100,000 XP. For winning a fight by KO in the first round, you might be looking at like 3,000 XP. It was ridiculous. But Tim would log on the message board and be like, we need a 5 times XP weekend. Maybe 7 or 10 times. Like, this is ridiculous. We're never going to make it. And one of the fucking devs of the game would sign on and go, this
He
weekend,
was
5
like
times XP. And it would be like, thank you. And then we would just do nothing all weekend but play EA MMA.
Oh,
like
man,
those
that's so
devs
funny.
were, the guy's name was Brian. He was the man. I miss that guy. I wish his game sold better. EA MMA did not do well. That's why we were celebrities. You got any more?
I don't think so.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Dan Nance, this was episode 14 of What Game Are You Gaming? A return to glory! What do you think about that?
I think it was a good return show.
What'd you do with your life?
Recorded a gaming podcast.
We love you, Dan Nance. If you, Jazz James gave us this topic. If you have a topic you want us to cover, leave it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We love you, Dan Nance. We gonna see you on the next episode. See, because I usually say next week on the regular podcast, but we don't do this weekly.